Hey guys, back for another video here. This is the rest of the maintenance series on my Volkswagen Passat 2014. We're going to do this is the car. We're going to do the Dsg service, so that's your transmission fluid change. It's not that hard. I was quoted at VW for almost $750 plus tax Canadian here, so that ain't happening. I picked up the fluid and filter on Rock Auto for, I think it was $140 shipped to my address here in Alberta. So that's a hell of a lot of savings. It doesn't take that long to do. There's a couple ways to do it. Some of the stuff that you'll need are, I bought a transfer pump. There's a couple ways you can do it, but I'm going to try it this way. This is the way that they tell you to do it. So another piece you need is a little adapter that I bought off of Amazon. It's just the Dsg adapter that fits into the bottom of the transmission. So it looks like. You can buy a whole kit of a bunch of them, but this is the one that I bought. I just bought the one because I don't need any of the other ones. This was $30. It's metal, so it's not plastic or anything. If you're gonna do these kind of services, you may as well just get one of these, and then a transfer pump. Or the other way that you can do it is there's a thing you can buy on Amazon. Comes with the filter thread like this, and like a funnel that you hold up. You'll hold up here and it'll just drain down in. But I tried that before, or I tried the top way to do it before, and it took forever. So I'm going to try the way that VW tells you to do it, with a transfer pump, and you pump the fluid into the bottom. I'll go over all the stuff that you need, or I'll leave it in the description of what else you need for tool wise. I'm not 100% sure yet. I've only done this service on a Jetta before. So first thing you have to do is you have to take the bottom pan off, or skid plate, or whatever it is, and that's a T25 and a T40 torx. So we'll get that off and be back in a second. Okay, we got the skid plate off. Have a drip pan underneath, because when you get to that point to drain all the fluid, that's a good place to have it. Next thing you have to do is you have to take the air box out, the battery off, and there's a tray that's underneath the battery. So we'll get taking this stuff off. It's not that hard. There's a bolt down in there, if you see that one right there. I'm not 100% sure which one that one was, but and then there's a little piece that you just flip up here and it just comes loose. Obviously you need to take the clamp off in these hoses and clip here, and then you can get to your battery. Your battery is a 10 mil for the bolts here, and then just lift that out of the way. Okay, with this little clip here, you have to push it up with a little pick or a screwdriver, and then push it in, and then it comes out. Also, you have to take this little piece off here. This is your airbox piece that comes off, and then the hose that's attached here, you have to lift it up, and it'll slide underneath this hose here, and it'll slide out. That's what it looks like. There's a bolt that's right here. Pretty sure it's 9/16. Could be wrong. Let me check now, and we'll get that holds your battery down once you get all your 10 mil connections out. Okay, for the battery hold down bolt there, it's a 9/16. So there's 4 bolts, one here, 3 bolts. Those are 10 mil, so that'll get your tray out. So let's take those out, and you'll have access to the filter for the transmission. So we'll get those bolts out now. Okay, got the tray out. So what the tray looks like when it's out. Those are just 10 mil bolts, so you just set that aside. I try to keep everything together. Just get a little magnetic tray. It's your easiest bet, so you don't lose anything. And your filter is right here. This is your transmission filter, and that is a 24 mil socket. I got it with an extension, make it a little bit easier. So we'll undo that, or try and get it loose, and then we'll go down to the bottom of the transmission, and there's a couple hex keys that you need to drain the fluid out. So we'll loosen up this filter here, and we'll get to the bottom of the transmission. Okay, we're underneath the car here now. This is let's show you right where the plug is. Might be a little bit difficult, but the plug is right there, and that's a 14 millimeter hex. So we'll get to undoing that and let the fluid drain out. Okay, got the hex loose here, so make sure your pan's underneath. I drove the car, so I drove it this morning for about 2 hours, so the fluid is warm. You're probably your best bet to do it when it's warm, so it all drains out. Good time to get some paper towels or whatever, so you don't make a huge mess anywhere. This shit gets everywhere and not fun to clean up. So we'll let this drain out. There's another hex key that's on the inside. Can't remember what it is. I'll have to wait till this drains out, and then I'll let you know in a second here. Okay, figured out which one it is. It's a 5/16 hex. So you just insert it in here like that, and it's just a little plastic piece that comes out, and it drains the rest of the fluid out. If you can get it to come out. It's probably a good idea to wear gloves when you do this, because it's gonna get everywhere, which is always fun. It should come out. Yeah, there we go. So this is what the piece looks like. It's just a little plastic piece. Not sure what the hell they use it for, but that'll drain all the rest of your fluid out. So yeah, you don't want to watch fluid drain. So we'll get back to you when this is all done here. I'll take the filter off on the top. Well, it looks like it mostly drained out. So we'll get to the top filter, and we'll replace the top filter and show you another way that you can do this other than pumping it in the bottom. Okay, now we'll take the filter off at the top here. Got it loose already, so it should just come out. Shouldn't be too hard. Maybe grab a paper towel so you don't make a mess. Should just come out. And of course, you make a mess, so I need more paper towels, so I'll get that out and we'll clean it up a little bit here. Okay, when you do take the housing off, it does leak, so just throw some paper towels down there so you don't make a huge mess. But you just lift it out, and it should, that's what the filter looks like. This looks different than the one that I have seen before, but that's what it looks like. I don't know when this was last changed, so when I went to the VW dealership, they said that it looked like it needed to be changed, so I said okay. But I'm not letting you guys do it because you cost an arm and a leg, so I'm going to do it on my own and save $600 plus. So yeah, that's what it looks like down in there. All of the fluid doesn't drain out, so get some paper towels and just try to get all of the fluid as you can out. That's what I'm going to do next. So we'll get to that one. Okay, we got that all cleaned up in there. I don't know if that's a step you should take or whatever, but I always do that whenever I do oil changes or whatever, clean out the bottom of the filter housings so you don't get all the shit in there. So yeah, this is the filter. This is the kit that I bought off Rock Auto. This is what they recommend. I'm sure they make other fluids for this, but that's the kit number. I'll put that in the description. But yeah, let's get open and see what's in this bad boy. Okay, so we got the filter. That's the one that I remember. The filter and the O-ring. The crush ring for your transmission plug. And then your fluid. This is 5 liters. I've never had an issue with this stuff, so, and it's quite cheap. This kit was $140 shipped to my door. Amazon's 160, I think, or something like that. So I went with Rock Auto, save a little bit more money. So that's it. That's what the kit comes with. So we'll get to putting the filter on with the O-ring. Make sure you lube that O-ring up. We'll get to that right now. Okay, this is what the new filter looks like. Looks identical to the other one. I've just never seen that kind of rib thing on there. I've never seen that one before, but that's the new filter. There's a little O-ring in there that you might want to put a little trans fluid on before slipping it on there. So we'll hold on to that for 2 seconds here. There's a couple ways that you can do this service. See the little hole that's in there. You can attach a hose and a funnel, and you could sit here for hours letting it drain in. That's the first way that I did it, and I don't remember how long it took, but it wasn't quick by any means because that hole down there is pretty small. So that's one way that you can do it, and the second way is to get that adapter and you push the fluid into the transmission instead of like VW says how to do it. So I'm going to lube this little O-ring up on the filter here, and then we'll put the filter in and the cap and tighten it, snug it down, and we'll be done for the top part here. Okay, I got the filter O-ring lubed up there. That'll just slip back on. Slip back on there. Then you lube the O-ring on this housing here, and that'll just slip back over. I'm going to screw it back on. Make sure it's fits in there nicely. And all you do is you just snug it down. You don't reef on it. You don't want to crack the housing because that'd be a real pain. That'd be a bad day for you. So just snug her down, and that's it for the top part. Okay, I got the adapter in. That's where it goes. So now we're going to try and pump this fluid in. Let's see how that goes. See if this method of trying to pump the fluid in the bottom here with this little transfer pump that I picked up. Let's see if it works. Hopefully it does. Okay, seems to be working, so I'm going to fight with this thing, try to get this all pumped in. It's harder than I thought it would be, but we'll get to trying filling it up here and get back to you in a second. Okay, we got everything done in here. We got it all pumped in. That's a real pain in the ass. This service makes a huge mess. Whoever thought of this way to do it is a fucking moron. I'd just like to say that now, because this is ridiculous. You sure you save yourself a lot of money doing it yourself, but you make a huge mess everywhere. So I forgot the one step to put that plastic piece back in, so that's why it made a huge bigger mess. But the next steps are now is to start it and get it up to a certain temperature, and you're supposed to take the plug out again. Take the plug out and then let it drain until it starts dripping. But I think I lost a little bit too much fluid, so I'm just gonna leave it, and I think it should be good. So yeah, that's your DSG service. It's a fucking pain in the ass. It's kind of stupid, but they want a lot of money at VW, so I decided to do it myself. This is only my second time doing it. I didn't do it the bottom fill way before, and I don't know if that's the right way to do it, but or the way that they tell you to do it at least. But if you want to save yourself a few bucks, buy the kit on your own. There's the kit, 140 bucks. Doesn't take that long to do. It takes maybe an hour to do it, which isn't that bad. But if you want to save yourself some money, buy the kit, do it yourself. If you like the content on this stuff, I got a lot more truck videos coming up, my P-pump truck, so stay tuned for that. Hit subscribe, like button, all that fun stuff. Stay tuned for the next couple videos. Take care.